Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Open Bracket Qualifiers. It's almost the end of our day. It's coming to an end. We're sorry. We're sad for that. But you know what? There's a lot of exciting things that are happening even after this broadcast is over, Nick. Back some legendary things.
Legendary things indeed on the PTS. Head on over to forums.paladins.com. You can get that downloaded. Nice. You came to me. You can get that downloaded. Try out all the legendaries for free. They'll all be unlocked for you on the PTS. Figure out which ones you want to go for once they go live. And even then, you'll get one for free for every single character.
That's pretty awesome. I'm excited for it. And Mercy Kill Tyra. You ever try that,
That's
man?
the truth.
Mercy Kill Tyra is the truth. She is a lot of fun in that one. The map screen's ready for the finals today, though. It is going to be Astral Authority versus Eager. And again, we will see Timber Mill and Frozen Guard banned out. What's up with this, man?
Timber Bill, man.
Timber Bill and Frozen Fard.
Everybody hates Bill, dude.
Dude. I hate Frozen Fard.
Bill's a dick.
Yeah.
Frozen Guard here banned out as well. We saw that yesterday between Burrito and Bugsy. Did you watch that? Did you watch that clip that Bugsy tweeted at us? That we missed his Kinessa triple.
I missed it. I missed it.
What
was happening?
Awesome. You can actually see that the big stack in the little bottom left of the Frozen Guard. There's actually a line of sight there that you can shoot through the big tower stack in the corners off of Long Haul. And Bugsy actually blasted Lemonade through the big stack. Yesterday with Kinessa. It was hot.
Oh man, get put on blast right there, man. That's not unfortunately.
We missed it on the broadcast, so I had to shout him out.
Yeah, I mean,
it was hot. It was nice.
He had some fun with that one, and of course, Burrito D69 was a great set yesterday. This one's shaping up to be a pretty good one ourselves. I think Eager, with the first big Makoa, going to keep things simple moving forward. But this is where things start to maybe get a little more interesting. Drogo's been highly selected. But what do they go for here? Is it Maeve? Is it Fernando? Is it Maldamba, which we've seen a lot, and Eager's used really well? It's actually the Shaolin coming through.
Yeah, they've been definitely liking this. doesupz plays it fairly well. Bodies playing the Drogos extremely well. So just after losing the Makoa, obviously as the first pick, I don't think Eager's going to be going for Fernando. Maybe they do just to get it off or get it away from WarDoom. But Astral Authority here, wisely, I think, saving that Fernando pick, just giving themselves space to draft. And they go for the Torvald here. So Astral Authority now with a lot of room to draft because they can just go for their Ying and their Fernando last.
And do they get a better draft? Because really, the third pick is what happens here. They get the Cassie instead. But that still leaves Androxus on the table for stolzey. Leaves Evie on the table for ShadeeyShades. They're going to get their Fernando. They might get their Ying. But do they have a better draft at the end of the day? That is really the question here because this is looking like a very comfortable draft for Eager. Maeve is selected. Will they go for the Evie or will they go for the Androxus?
Probably
I can see this going either way. Victor.
No.
Wow.
So stolzey Maeve?
Yeah.
Then no, stolzey on Victor for sure. Shady on Maeve. Bitey on Torvald, Wi-Fi on Makoa, and Awry on Maldamba.
My God, we could have been more off on these drafts right here. Grover comes out at the end, so they didn't even want the Ying.
Kusqt has been playing a lot of Grover on Stonekeep, especially he played it and did very well with it. So now, without the flank pressure, I like this pickup from Astral Authority because Kusqt can just hurl axes at Bitey and just give some kind of pressure. You saw AGG, it didn't go well for them when they didn't pressure out the Victor player from Team Eager. Bitey going to be on Torvald, Awry, on Maldamba, stolzey, on Victor, Wi-Fi on Makoa, and ShadeeyShades on Maeve.
And on the side of Astral Authority, Kusqt on Grover, Evulli on Shaolin, WarDoom on Fernando, doesupz on Cassie, and iDropBodies on the Drogos. It is the tale of former teammates fighting against each other now on new teams. It is a tale of power rankings and adjustments in North America where teams are so tight. All four teams are within, I believe, 50 points of each other. Anything can be changed here. The next 3 to 5 games will mean a world of difference for these teams, and it is up to Stonekeep, the first map of the day, to start to distinguish the difference between these squads. A missed Bitey grenade, but it will end up in a lot of damage on the Kusqt, who's getting the focus already after a great hook from Makoa. 24% already on the point by Eager. Fire Spit will push him back though, but Wi-Fi cleans up the first kill on Evulli.
stolzey under a decent amount of pressure by WarDoom. Grenade up onto the high ground and pressuring out this Drogos. And Victor is a character that does well against Drogos. That hit scanned base fire, is able to keep track of the dragon no matter how fast he's flying around the skies, but Bodies comes out top of the trade with ShadeeyShades there on the high ground. 179 health left for stolzey, but still holding strong on the point. Eager in total control of the zone, 75-0 here with the double front line.
Now getting pressured a little bit out is stolzey on the Victor, gonna run away, create some distance, and Eager give up the space to Astral Authority, and WarDoom is still up. This is not a good thing. They ceded their positioning, which is in many ways one of the biggest strengths on Stonekeep, having the aggressive place to be able to zone and use your strength of line of sights as a Victor, and of course looking to get these hooks off, but that's a big time planet coming out. Not going to save Evulli's life. Gets Makoa down to half health and forces the shell shield. Eager is back, and will they have been back for good? This could be the permanent retake by Eager, and it is. The objective's been captured. That one was played very well.
doesupz forced out as well. stolzey able to clean up Doe, so the former teammates starting to take each other out here. stolzey gets bodies as well. ShadeeyShades found Kusqt, and Eager are going to have a lot of momentum with this payload push coming around the first corner here. Astral Authority sticking to the high ground, it would appear, but they're taking a lot of poke from these grenades from stolzey.
WarDoom still alive, and obviously one that's difficult to kill. We mentioned that. We saw how effective he was. People know his play style. They know it's almost better to try. If you can't burst him down right away, it's better to just let him go. But look at that. stolzey says, no, I'm going to make sure you go down. Great grenade as well from stolzey. Up in the air. He could get finished, and he will. And Evulli makes his mark in the game, finishing off stolzey on Victor. And 1 minute and 36 seconds left. Push has not made it too far. Astral Authority still have a little bit ways to go.
Wow, but Bitey just walks all the way up to the payload here, and Bodies and Kusqt just back off. Hyper Beam is available. It's not going to be spotted out by Bodies here, and Bitey not going to go for the Hyper Beam, as well as no one is really within range of him. The Midnight comes out from Maeve, so Bitey could look for the positioning here to land a Hyper Beam.
And he actually uses the recharge because he's under so much pressure and doesn't actually use it on Fernando's shield. So WarDoom pops it right after the recharge is done, and he keeps his shield up, and Bitey now has nothing to do except run and end up getting taken down by Team Astral Authority's damage dealer. So he goes back to base for the moment. And during this time, it is really important to kind of get the poke on first, Nick. People trying to make sure they move in as a 5-man team, but if one of your teammates gets to half health, that could screw everything up after you're grouped.
Yeah, having that Makoa pick, Team Eager are in the favorable position to find that poke damage, that pick off, that easy 4v5 scenario. Big fire spit through the door, poking out some of the tanks. Big directs.
That's it right
onto
there.
The cart there. Awry goes down after eating 3 rockets in a row. Here's the Hyper Beam.
Oh, no thrusts.
I mean, Body's going to go down. Doesn't have the thrusts available. So Bitey with a great double kill on Stonekeep, but no one is there to follow up with him.
stolzey ends up taking down Evulli, and doesupz has to be the one to finish stolzey. Very good plays by both teams here, but it will be a full successful defense. Bitey with the the late Hyper Beam. You could have said he might have been able to do that maybe a minute earlier and had 2 at this time after charging it up again for a full round. So not sure if that's going to be benefiting him now. Break down the items as we head into round 2.
So as we get into the later stages of the game here, Team Eager's composition, I think, falls off a little bit harder just because they have the double frontliner. So the Wreckers are going to be a little bit more punishing. The Cauterizes as well, going to prevent Awry from doing a lot of the healing that he would like to do. But stolzey, they're going to be leading in the credit department here. Team Eager capturing the first payload. Cauterize 2's online for He and Wi-Fi. Wrecker 2 already online for ShadeeyShades. Bitey has the Cauterize 1 and the Chronos 1, and just picks up the Rejuvenate 1 as well. Ultimate advantage is about tied up here, 3-3.
And with those advantages being so tight, and with this game being so tight, a lot of these players being so tight with one another, it is going to be maybe just one misstep, maybe one shield thrown up too early, or in front of the wrong champion at the wrong time. That's going to make the difference here. Great plays, repositioning by ShadeeyShades, using the Pounce and the Prowl just to get into the right spot to use the damage that he's got. But a great shot by Evulli is going to put him in the wall, but not for long, because Nick mentioned resilience coming through.
doesupz now very healthy, has the Scout ultimate available to him, in control of the point. Astral Authority 42% and climbing here. doesupz rolling around, won't find the reset. Just gonna let that one expire out. Goes into the planet though. Trying to find some big damage. Here's the whirlwind from Kusqt, keeping everyone up as well through the Immortal. It's a great combination to top everyone back off after Immortal is there to keep him safe. Ancient Rage gonna be countered out by Dragon Punch though.
Nowhere to go. Try to get as much damage on it as possible, using the lines of sight of the trees to hide himself from the cover of stolzey. But stolzey looking to hide himself from the cover of iDropBodies now. Astral Authority find themselves in command of this game. And Bitey and stolzey in the corridor look to finish off some kills, but ultimately still falling to the pressure Astral Authority is providing. Awry doing some great job healing up his teammates in the back line and keeping everybody healthy as they try to defend now against the onslaught of Kusqt, WarDoom, and his team.
And this Torvald and this Maeve actually being a terror to this backline right now. Gets the Hyper Beam charged up as well. Bitey's caught out right now. Doesn't have the recharge, under 2,000 health. He's getting pocket heal, but it won't be enough. Evulli is able to take him out. Kusqt finds a long-range axe on the ShadeeyShades as well, giving WarDoom the space he needs to get full aggro into this lineup, but immediately has to throw the shield up. Bitey and the boys, stolzey on that Victor as well, pumping so much damage into him.
That is just WarDoom though. Great aim by iDropBodies, and the positioning as well, making it so hard. Come into my cavern of death, says the dragon.
Ooh,
and nobody wants to do it. Only I escape from that one. He's at a 5 streak. iDropBodies waiting for his health regeneration to tick off, and a fire spit will just put and displace Bitey in such a way. 1 rocket, 2 rockets. There's the hyper beam.
Thrust again. Feels bad.
Again, he gets caught back, but look at the fireball from WarDoom. Damage coming through. Will Awry stay alive? He will. But Bitey helps to give stolzey the room to pick up a double kill. WarDoom can't find it, and the defense is strong here by Astral Authority. Bitey with a huge play, knocking off iDropBodies after the thrust. Not the easiest timing to always be aware of.
So they commit the whirlwind there, so not too much lost for Astral Authority, but only having to commit the Hyper Beam. Eager, I would say, come out on top of that trade. Just the Hyper Beam is a little bit easier to get recharged than the whirlwind there. 1 for 1 right now. Trading out is definitely going to be in favor of Eager, given the respawn proximity. Here's the Dragon Punch as well. No Ancient Rage to respond. Bitey actually goes down instead, and I like that because Makoa was already so low, so a great target switch there from WarDoom.
Saves him a little bit of time as well, but Bodies goes down in the process. Eager holding strong against this onslaught. Astral Authority, 10 seconds left. WarDoom waiting in the rafters. He's gonna get spotted out by ShadeeyShades though. He's gonna hop onto the Master Riding. Come find me, ShadeeyShades up to the task. Hits him with the pounce. 9 lives reset, but WarDoom will get back to the objective and throw that shield up, which nobody likes to see. But here's the issue. Bodies goes down to Wi-Fi so early on in this fight that they don't have the AoE pressure from Drogos. They've done well to bait the Ancient Rage from Makoa, and the Drogos, though, not there to counter it. He feels safe with no Dragon Punch coming to end his spree.
Wi-Fi couldn't make up his mind there. He had Kusqt backed up into a corner. He target switches onto the full health Shaolin, doesn't get him down, and Kusqt stays alive, heals back up, and has an impact on that fight. Astral Authority find the conversion. I don't know what the decision is there, just to let Kusqt live.
And he goes with the B for BM, Nick. Says a lot. There's a lot of tension between both these teams. There's a lot of history. I can't imagine that feels good to be.
There's a lot of pride on the
Eager.
line here in this series for sure. Like we mentioned, if you're just joining us, stolzey used to be a part of Match Point with Kusqt, with WarDoom, with doesupz. Those guys were tight. They were at the top of the North American scene for so long, but after a not so great showing at the HRX Invitational, they parted ways. Smidgen going to Team Xenacy, stolzey going to Eager, and the core here of Kusqt, WarDoom, and doesupz deciding to stick together, parting ways with Match Point, but now they have improved Astral Authority astronomically.
That's a great reference as well, but there's Kusqt. Gets 1 shot, a long-range damage, uses the Vine to get out of stolzey's barrage, but actually takes 1, and a pop shot to the head with a crippling axe will end stolzey as well. Almost gets over, but Kus just mistimes that one under pressure, and that is the issue with Vine. Sometimes not as accurate as you would like. Takes a lot of practice to make sure you hit those the way you need it. A little bit of momentum on those Vines too, Nick, so you could have gotten over that wall, but just didn't exactly do it correctly.
Absolutely, stolzey running up the stairs now, 78% for Team Eager. So in a good spot right now. Grenade, gonna put some hurt onto the healer, but WarDoom always comes around the backside right when it's clutch time. The Midnight is popped as well from ShadeeyShades here, but Evulli's still able to get the first kill onto stolzey. 9 lives reset, but the Cauterize is going to negate most of that healing. Evulli in the back line isn't able to get anything else done here. doesupz taking a lot of damage from ShadeeyShades right now.
I love the positioning by ShadeeyShades. Gets healed up afterwards, so aware of where his healer is. The communication with Eager, the core of Eager, you could tell, is just used to playing with each other a little bit more. Awry, ShadeeyShades, Bitey coming off of his Wi-Fi as well before stolzey was introduced into the squad, as just really has the synergy that they've had ever since they've been competing against the full match point roster. That's proving it to be more important here against Astral Authority, despite Astral Authority being up 3-2. Eager found a little bit of rhythm back in this one.
Shady got a little bit more than he bargained for up on the high ground, wisely backs off. Bodies finds Bitey, as well has Dragon Punch charged up. A couple ultimates spent on the point for Astral Authority, so they're winning this one.
That's that act you were talking about.
Just based off pure skill here, coming through, just trying to pressure out stolzey, you're right. So Grover doesn't have to reload, so he can just constantly throw these axes in stolzey's face to just put some type of pressure on him. You cannot allow this man to free fire into you.
He doesn't see Cassie there. Cassie could roll onto him if she's aware. stolzey actually still does not see it yet. Very surprised, and now he's already out and about. doesupz kind of almost lived with his life there. He got away, kind of scot-free, so to speak, without really being hunted down by stolzey. He's going to see him now, though. doesupz going to roll back. Evulli will claim Bitey's life in the process. A lot of fighting and skirmishing here. A minute and 12 seconds. Dragon Punch is available. Salvo used to just zone off the area. Fire Spit, that could do damage. Oh, it's going to miss. Not hit anybody.
doesupz, though, gets around the corner, spots out this high ground flank, but he's hooked into 3. doesupz, it's going to be a tough task to live there. He's able to roll off the high ground, eats the heal from the Blossom as well. He'll be kept up for the time being. Ancient Rage is available, but Dragon Punch is as well. So a delicate dance here, balancing those 2 ultimates out, trying to get value for both squads.
Awry still alive, healing up his squad. stolzey in the back line, gets a protection shield. Doesn't need it quite yet, but it seems like Bitey's still running Wind Dancer. That's going to give him 40% movement speed just to reposition. Stay away from Fernando. That is proving valuable. Let's see if he gets one more shield here. He's under pressure, definitely from Kusqt. Up in the rafters, he's got a grenade, doesn't want to use it, throws it, bank shot. He's going to be able to help ShadeeyShades clean up Kusqt. Gets Drogos in the air. ShadeeyShades picking up that kill as well, and it could be Eager going all the way through. Misses the grenade, but he finds the pop shots on the head, and with the reload, those are gonna hurt. Successful push for Eager. It's tied 3-3. Game 1's going down to the wire.
WarDoom could get out there in time. 4 ultimates, however, for Astral Authority, so they're in a favorable position here to head out here. WarDoom actually picking up the veteran here. He is a guy that he plays away from his healers a fair bit, so this is a card that will just increase your out-of-combat regeneration. Great pickup here because it's not affected by Cauterize. He doesn't have to retreat to Kusqt to get healed up. He'll help him get back in the fight a little bit quicker. It's percentage-based, so it's more effective on those tanks. 4% at rank 1, 8 at 2, and 12 at 3. ShadeeyShades all fleshed out here with all 4 item slots. Resilience 2, Record 2, Morale Boost 2, and a Life Rip 1. Just for good measure here. Everything except Midnight available for Team Eager, and everything except Scout ready to go for Astral Authority. 2 ultimates that counter each other in many ways. Cassie able to reveal that Midnight from Maeve, the AoE blind within 300 feet of your teammates. WarDoom cleans it up with a fireball to win the duel against Maeve. That is huge for Astral Authority right now, and the flavor has definitely started to shift in their direction. Wi-Fi helps to finish off in the air, and Awry, again, with huge gravity on both of those champion shots, finish off iDropBodies, who's in the air. ShadeeyShades now trying to redeem himself after getting picked off by the tank early on, but it is all Astral Authority as a result of 2 huge pickups by their tankier champions. WarDoom, you know, cracked the team fight open, and doesupz blew it wide open from there. Found 3 kills in that engagement. Shady trying to find Evulli here in the backline. WarDoom again finds a backliner. stolzey goes down, and Dragon Punch is there to pick up Wi-Fi. doesupz going bigger rise there with the Maldamba Dread Serpent, but it doesn't get anything done as the Grover Whirlwind was there to keep everyone topped off. It's a very difficult ultimate to counter. You need to get Cauterize onto everyone, and Astral Authority come out with a very strong team fight to close out game number 1.
I mean, just ShadeeyShades getting dropped early to the Fernando.
WarDoom was big.
Not necessarily a huge fight you want to take. It's not like you know, you're trying to burst down a Bomb King even, or a Buck, or let alone like an Eevee. I mean, he's got so much health, and the constant damage, the burning, the damage over time. You've only got 1,800 to play around with, you know? Of course, the resets, but she just blew it all onto that, and it didn't pay off in her favor. So Maeve, Eager, they go down in the books to Astral Authority.
This is a great draft from both teams as well. It's not like anyone got out-drafted or even outplayed in a big way. You can see there was a lot of big damage numbers for both squads, a little bit more so for the Astral Authorities. They didn't have the double frontliner, and they had WarDoom as one of their frontliners, so he always finds a decent amount of damage here. But it just came down to the little things. It wasn't any big whiffed ultimates. It's WarDoom's pick onto ShadeeyShades. Those little tiny things, just giving his team enough space, and then guys like doesupz using the space created, finds 3 kills in the engagement to follow that up. Everything was rolling Astral Authority's way at the end when it counted most.
Kusqt with a great job of healing as we head into the maps for game number 2. We'll see where they'll take their skills
out healing Maldamba. That's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, I know. It was a great job by Kusqt on that one. You can see he had mastery of that champion going into this one. It'll be interesting to see kind of what his loadout is, looking at that next. If he's running a similar cripple loadout, if he's doing something different. Frog Isle will be where these two teams take their talents this next season. And of course, it is time for the champion draft. Makoa going first. Can't believe it. I'm stunned.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know this is outrageous.
It's just Frog Isle, man.
Come on.
It's a great map.
Great map for
Eager here with the chance to follow up the Torvald. I think going to be a little bit more impactful. Early Fernando. I don't know how I feel about that.
Away from WarDoom.
WarDoom, I think he's happy to play the Makoa, but taking that away from him it shuts that door for Astral Authority. Now they can't bring out the surprise Fernando when Team Eager's not really expecting it. Likewise with this Maldamba, Astral Authority has a lot of room to draft their healer late, but they do go for the Torvald early, which is them taking something away from Eager. Something I don't think Eager maybe saw coming.
And I think Eager do like to see Maldamba grabbed up. I think Awry,
you got to get a Shaolin here.
I think Awry on the Maldamba has been so excellent that Eager want that. And they're going to go back with Maeve. So they're really kind of committed to Maeve. They like Maeve. ShadeeyShades done a good job. I mean, the Eevee is on the table. Definitely did need to prioritize that. They could have gone for, you know, maybe a secondary tank if they wanted. But they've got the flavor pick at the end. So they can kind of adjust their team comp based on what Astral Authority here want to lock in their core damage healing and then see where they need to offset it.
The Shaolin is left open for Astral Authority here. They're going to snag it up. It's a great pickup because as a backliner, Shaolin is one of the best at dealing with flankers. You know, the Impale Arrow is an instant win condition against almost any flanker. And even if you miss it, a good planted, like if you just have the nuts to just go into a planted and go toe-to-toe with a Maeve, a lot of times you'll come out on top as long as you're finding those shots consistently. When a guy like doesupz is likely to be on it, those shots are definitely going to come through consistently.
Absolutely. They pick up the Victor to round things out again. Eager really enjoying Victor. They've enjoyed Victor ever since they've been a team in Paladins. We've seen them play a lot, from Jake B running around there to Bitey as well. And now it seems like they've also found a little bit of joy on the other side with Astral Authority on the Grover. Kusqt will do it again and open up the doors of the Church of Grover on Sunday, and a Chronos will be bought with the money earned from the masses.
Let's take a look at that loadout, though.
Yeah, let's absolutely see Grover's loadout. Evulli on the Drogos, WarDoom on Torvald, iDropBodies on Makoa, and doesupz on Shaolin.
CDR is the name of the game here for Kusqt's loadout. Crippling Throw, cooldown reduction, as well as Blossom. So his right click throws the axe sideways, prevents use of movement abilities for, I believe, 1.5 seconds. But the number's not super important here. Bitey, I like the Victor pickup here, especially. The Grover can pressure it out, but you saw stolzey was still able to break 100,000 damage. I think he got close to 120K. So
824 right now on this shot.
It's a good pickup nonetheless, but this is the key to dismantling it now.
I mean, and also look, he's going to get a kill if they're not careful. He's going to find a way to safety, but he just sets Evulli up to go ham here. I mean, he's gotten at least 1,600 to 2,000 damage himself with these axes. And on Frog Isle, it just looks like, where's Eager? It's like you show up to a party, you know, 2 hours before anyone's there, and you're wondering, wait, is it actually going on? Because there was just 2 members of Eager, and you're wondering, where's the rest of it? They've been dealt with by Evulli and Kusqt combining with all that damage.
And Grover's a tanky healer. He's got with that he's got a little bit of a health card there, but 3,100 HP Kusqt sitting at. That's not easy for Maeve to burst through.
No.
That's the flank pressure right now, and it's just difficult to soften Grover up. Especially early game when your cauterize just isn't there. With that 1,000 burst healing on top of his already high HP pool, Grover is very difficult to take down.
And what they also want to do, what Maeve wants to do, she wants to dash, right? She wants to get you that cripple, of course, with Grover is going to counter that. It's going to counter a lot of her damage onto you. She's just going to be a throw those knives. And of course, you have the Blossom. You're going to be able to heal up at least one full set of knives that she throws at you. And you got a decent bit of damage as well. Remember, she's got to swing for a lot more than you have to swing in the total of that fight. So this is not a, this is turning out to be actually a really good pick for Astral Authority, especially with the Maeve being the one to aggress on that back line.
Hyper Beam as well, very potent on Frogile. You can see all that hazard zone doesupz is looking out at right now, so the Hyper Beam is something that could swing this snowball into full effect here. The hook is good onto ShadeeyShades. They pick him up as well, and Eager are looking dismantled by Astral Authority right now.
2-0 in less than 3 minutes. I mean, this is unheard of type stuff, especially when you see such a tightly contested game. This is a showcase of this is what a good draft can do for you. This is what taking the right composition for your squad, what a cooling mode there by Evulli as well. And I think in many ways, this is also what's saying we've found a rhythm with our unit. We have Evulli in this lineup. We feel good about the people we have on our team. iDropBodies still providing pressure, but again, Kusqt is just really...
Shout outs to WarDoom playing the less aggressive of the two tanks.
And you know, Kusqt is doing a great job as well at providing it. The Grover axis from the beginning of this fight really changed it. I wonder if he'll be able to do the same thing again.
Dragon Punch is ready to go. Astral Authority have the composition to snowball here with the double frontliner. Torball, very, very good early game. Look at them just destroy that Fernando shield. Wi-Fi falling down in less than 5 seconds into this fight.
Did I get the right address? Are we still having the thing tonight? Or I don't know. Did I miss it? Because none of my teammates are here. They're all in base. I thought we were attacking the objective. This is what the members of Eager have to be thinking right now, because Astral Authority is running all over them in this fight. Dragon Punch coming through for Evulli. The young man, no sub anymore, gets taken down by ShadeeyShades. And stolzey finally trying to just get some damage in this fight. Midnight comes through. They've let Maeve get on the offensive, but who's she going to take? Makoa? Grover? Not a lot of good options. stolzey thankfully finishes off doesupz. There's a Dread Serpent coming out from Awry. This is big. They can turn things around here, and Maeve still alive.
The Ancient Rage is a lot of HP. He's going to eventually be melted down. Bodies buying the time they needed to. Already in overtime, Eager had to make the move. They had to dump a lot of ultimates in for it, however. 27%. They're starting to find their way back, and it's about time. That would have been almost a death sentence there. doesupz finding a kill onto stolzey here is a great way for WarDoom to come back in. There's the Hyper Beam almost off the map, but Fernando able to narrowly stay alive.
iDropBodies already getting the kill. WarDoom in the back line, just jumping in front of everyone. Not who you want to shoot at, but who he's forcing you to shoot at. And then look, Evulli from the top takes down Bitey. It's 3-0 Astral Authority. All they had to do was step one of their little itty-bitty toes on there with Eager backed up to the way they were, and they got the capture. 2 minutes, 14 seconds left. If this continues this way, Eager will have lost this game 4-0 in less than 7 minutes.
Snowballs are things that tend to happen here on Frogile. It's a very short payload push, as well as the spawn room isn't particularly close to the point there. There is a little bit of a way to traverse. Only one of 2 ways to actually exit the spawn, so a lot of ways for Evulli here to cover the options with the Drogos. There's a big hook onto stolzey. A lot of Eager's teamfight damage dies with him.
No idea where ShadeeyShades is, and now they finally found her. And that would be on the end of iDropBodies Dredge Anchor.
Dragon Punch.
And she's going down. Dragon Punch, it is available, but will they use it? Do they even need to use it at this point? Have Eager kind of consented that this game is over? The Immortal comes out, and Wi-Fi will do everything he can, but it is a formality. He will go down. That is a good barrage timing with the Dread Serpent. A lot of damage. There's a Hyper Beam, though. The Slither will immune it for just a bit, but Astral Authority have bought the window with the Hyper Beam. And boy, oh boy, 2-0, that was anything. I mean, that was so unlike what we saw in the first game. that I'm scratching my head as well watching that. Look like two completely different teams.
I mean, once you get the momentum going on Frog Isle, it's difficult to stop, especially with the composition drafted here from Astral Authority. A lot of damage from the Drogos, a lot of damage from the doesupz. Just unstoppable. The hyper beams were good. No crazy highlight, but just those little things there. The hyper beam just buying the window they need to push the payload through. Great whirlwinds, great damage coming out from Grover as well, and just a struggle here for Eager to get off. You know, they lost momentum early, and Frog Isle made it even worse to take it back. It's just very difficult to come back on this map.
Oh, not much to dissect there. They got they booties whipped. Let's head over to the map screen and see where they will be playing next round. Jaguar Falls will be the answer. And the champion draft is ready. They want to get right back into this. They want to make sure they don't come out on the bottom end here. Jaguar Falls a little bit easier, I think, to retake and to have some more even fights. I would expect less snowballing here, despite even, you know, some great play. But Torvald could be a big factor. Again, the hyper beams were a factor in that last game. It could be a big factor in getting the 2-0 push, and that leads to a lot of momentum.
They need something. They need a more frontline presence. They had a solo Fernando into a Torvald, a Drogos, and a Shaolin.
My dear God.
That's why Eager's team fight would fall apart so quickly, because by the time Wi-Fi moved, you know, from the peeking around the corner to the point, his shield was destroyed and he was put at about 10% health by the time he got onto the point. It's just not enough time.
I don't think I like the Maeve third pick anymore. I'm really thinking that Eager don't do that, and that's a great adjustment. I was just going to say, she's not bringing enough, and you don't know if they build that type of tanky lineup, she has a lot less to go after. Let's wait and see. Do they get a Cassie? Do they grab an, you know, an Eve? Do they pick up a Victor? Then you know a Maeve is going to be a great spot for us. You could force a lot of things out of their hand when they don't know whether that last pick is going to be coming at them. Of course, Astral Authority now have the opportunity to have the last pick, so it's up in Eager's ball is in Eager's court to see where they'll go. They go for the second frontliner with Torvald.
Shaolin not on the table here, and Droxus could be a look
Another
here,
Victor.
but heavily favoring the Victor today is Team Eager. So Astral Authority could draft an Eevee, they could draft the Androxus, some type of flame pressure. The Maeve as well, rather, to pressure out this Victor. That's going to be the big key here, shutting him down.
And that is where you want to pick a Maeve, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You see two clear targets. She can go after the Cassie. She can go after the Victor. That's enough to win the team fight if you just leave Makoa, Torvald, and Maldamba by themselves, right? If you have your whole squad up, that is what you want to see. And Astral Authority, again, with a very strong draft, we'll see if Eager can bounce back. They've got a long way to go. Best of 5 set could be over after this game. We're on Jaguar Falls. Actually, we're on Serpent. No, we're on Jaguar Falls. Excuse me. Astral Authority will be Kusqt on the Ying, Evulli on the Drogos, WarDoom on Fernando, iDropBodies on Maeve, and doesupz on Shaolin.
Eager will have Wi-Fi on Makoa, stolzey on Victor, Awry on Maldamba, Bitey on Torvald, ShadeeyShades on Cassie. So a great draft from both teams. I feel very comfortable picks for everyone. It's going to come down. This is going to be more of the Stone Keep, I feel, where it was very close. It came down to small windows that get capitalized on to take these team fights here. 2 wreckers immediately out of the gate for Astral Authority, 2 cauterizes as well. WarDoom going with the Master Riding, who will probably later go into that cauterizer. It is so effective on Fernando.
Evulli gets a couple of shots there off of the booster into the midair. Thrust still actually about to be on availability now. He misses the fire spit, and he gets a couple of damage off. Look at that first blood there on the Bitey immediately. Victor causing a lot of damage in the backline. stolzey still feeling confident on that champion. Dimensional Link from Kusqt won't save her from Victor's damage. In fact, it'll probably put her right into the path of Victor, and was able to be the reason why he finished her off. And now, early on, Eager find themselves on the objective. So Evulli, he stayed in the backline this entire time, finally only to get picked off, not really find a lot of kills, and ShadeeyShades takes down iDropBodies in this process. So Eager coming back strong here on Jaguar Falls.
Great job from Wi-Fi there, pushing up. Once his team started to get clumped on the point, I think he recognized that they were starting to look a little vulnerable to Evulli's fire spit. Reads that Evulli would be pushing up for a nice tasty triple fire spit, finds the hook and finds the easy cleanup kill. Eager take the big advantage on the point off the back of that play.
93% and counting. There's a lot of pressure from Drogos here, but the objective's captured. They don't walk in fast enough. WarDoom is trying to fight on the right-hand side, but Kusqt and Evulli's damage from Drogos are enough to finish off Bitey. But they've already got what they came for. The prize has been claimed. The objective finally goes the way of Eager after so many, I believe, 5 in a row had gone to Astral Authority.
That's a lot of burst damage coming out. Cassie actually does fairly well against Maeve because she can just outburst her, especially if she's hitting all of her cooldowns, which oftentimes is the case at this level of play. That Valentine's crossbow showing no love to ShadeeyShades Maeve.
And ShadeeyShades just reloading the ammo in that, getting a couple more bolts in the crossbow to do some damage in the realm. stolzey maybe healed up, maybe basically using the protection to stay alive in these engagements, finding value in the Victor and the Torvald combination so far today has been Eager. And it hasn't worked a lot, but it started to work here in just the last few moments. So if this is any sign of the potential of this combo, it may just be something to look out for in North America. stolzey still on the left side, but ShadeeyShades picking a fight with WarDoom by himself. A lot of fire damage from the Flame Lance and forcing WarDoom with the shield. The jumping continues, and this is what he does. He stays alive this long. He's wasted all this time, and it's almost better to just... Why chase him? But ShadeeyShades hits an actually invisible shot there. Fantastic job. Pops the scout and just finishes off WarDoom. A rare feat.
53 seconds here. Big hook. Almost pulls the Drogos, and I believe Makoa actually got knocked back and threw off the trajectory of the hook. Bodies here, dying very often. Almost every time he goes in to try and take out ShadeeyShades, Cassie loses that fight. I'd like to see an adjustment here. Just to go on to stolzey's Victor instead. You got a better chance at taking out that champion. 30 seconds here. Great zone from Wi-Fi. Ancient Rage is available here to try and hold the zone. And Eager are rolling here on this push. That'll be contested for the time being. It's probably WarDoom that got over there on the payload. The shield is up. He will fall here, and Eager just cleanly taking this fight.
And as we've seen, ShadeeyShades, she can do well on the Maeve, of course, in duels, but not duels, as Eager take a 2-0 lead in this game, where Torvald is protecting a Victor or protecting a Cassie. It's just there's no way Maeve can burst through that. That's why in many ways Torvald's great with Maeve, but he's also a great counter to Maeve. And so ShadeeyShades, you can see, taking on the solo fights with Fernando. I think stolzey's been hanging around Bitey a little bit more, kind of maybe changing iDropBodies' champion choice there in terms of who he's going after.
Recognizing that, you know, he can't punch through those protections, you're right. So Cassie is his next best option, but ShadeeyShades is hitting all of his cooldowns on rotation. 2 1v1s in a row against bodies there. But the cauterized 2s are online for Astral Authority. Record 2s ready to go for doesupz as well. So with those in pocket, maybe Astral Authority can turn things around a little bit. Bitey's Torvald be a little bit easier to take out. Healing from Awry and Maldamba won't be as potent, so we'll see if we can get things starting to go the way of Astral Authority.
750 damage, and stolzey getting healed right back up. Can't tell you how important that is that stolzey's not low, and he's able to get into this fight, throw the grenades again. He gets another protection. They're just keeping stolzey alive with healing or with shielding, and this is meaning so much damage is still on their team. That's what the Victor is there for, straight damage, but it's hard for him to stay alive, but not when he's getting pocket healed, and that's why you see iDropBodies going for anything else, because stolzey in the course of this fight has gotten 3 shields, gotten 2 mending spirits from Maldamba and a full gourd onto him, and that means that he is just not the right target to try and burst down quickly.
Salvo coming out, Dragon Punch ready to go as well. Big directs onto Wi-Fi. The Wrecker's gonna blast through this shell shield. Doesn't have a rocket for the fire spit, so he just goes ahead and goes for the Dragon Punch, looking for Wi-Fi. He's gonna find him, and he's gonna be able to find the thrust out, but not for long. stolzey takes him out.
Great stun as well by Awry, and this could be the shield's ending, and that is so important. WarDoom not able to get around the corner, and ShadeeyShades picks up a double. Objective captured 3-0. stolzey on a 15 streak on this Victor. Can he win against the Shaolin? It's not a typical battle, and doesupz plants him into the wall face first and finishes him off. But again, Eager have what they came for, an objective and another chance at staying alive in this set.
And now just the momentum has totally shifted in Eager's favor. They just got 4-0'd on Prague, Iowa. Now they're in a position to do the same thing to Astral Authority here on Jaguar. The double frontliner draft just a little bit stronger, I think, this time around. This time it's going to go the way of Eager. Scouts available, but Doesn't need it. Has to have full vision of Kusqt and Evulli here trying to back off on this Drogos. Bitey finds Kusqt. He reads the dimensional link perfectly. Has the protection available to keep stolzey safe, and he's going to be able to be healed up.
And that is why you're not trying to fight stolzey. Another protection. It's Wind Dancer giving him the extra movement speed, and Awry giving him the gourd as well. I mean, the fact that Bitey and Awry have been helping stolzey, I mean, that core, and then allowing ShadeeyShades to just be ShadeeyShades, go and do what he needs to do on the Eevee or the Cassie. Allow iDropBodies to have success when he wants, have a lot of freedom of choice with who he wants to flank. That's been the difference for me. However, we have seen Maeve not have the biggest impact in this set. Maeve has been kind of lackluster for both teams, whoever's had it. You mentioned iDropBodies not really finding rhythm. You know, when it was on the side of, you know, when it was on the side of Astral, of Team Eager, they didn't have rhythm either.
stolzey's his best target, but Eager's doing a phenomenal job of keeping him safe with this Maldamba, with this Torvald. ShadeeyShades is just having a great day of Paladins, right? He has hit the mark on Eevee, on Cassie. He's just a difficult target to break down, and Bodies just can't find a way in there.
Yeah, and Awry keeping his team alive as well. I mean, this is such a dangerous combination, and you talk about this with Victor. I mean, I really want to say, what if Tyra was here? What if that Molotov was out? What if we were giving her the same amount of support up close? I mean, that damage she could provide is absolutely astronomical, and definitely in Season 1, that Mercy Kill Legendary is going to be fun to see, seeing people executed with that grenade, but it could just be the execution of a Team Astral Authority by Eager, swiftly, cleanly, and finishing that game so that they get themselves back in the set 2-1. This is now, it's live, man. I mean, it's real.
A lot of the story here is going to be told in the stats as well. How much damage was stolzey able to pump out? He was on some big streaks on Victor. 67,000 damage, wild and away above a lot of what the other guys were able to do in that game. Evulli on Drogos, a character that excels at dismantling double frontline, at just getting so much consistent damage off, was more than 10,000 behind in the damage department. 5 and 8 on this Maeve, 23,000 damage, barely above his tank. Bodies just wasn't able to have an impact on that game. Great job from Eager there, using their draft to its strengths, keeping stolzey safe, allowing him to pump out immense amounts of damage, and also a great job ShadeeyShades just winning the 1v1, because he's kind of next on the chopping block, but he was able to come out on top more often than not.
And they take WarDoom down, 1 and 8, finding himself a lot more kills than a lot more deaths than usual, and that could be a sign of how you do go against Astral Authority. Make sure WarDoom doesn't have a good game, changes their game plan quite a bit. Serpent Beach, big game 4's map. Let's head to the champion draft, get this thing started. We could be going to 5. We'll have to wait and see. Depends a lot on the draft.
Astral snatch up the Makoa as well, so Eager have the chance to answer back. Do they take the Fernando early this time? They do. The Maldamba has been working very well for them as well, so they're going to snag that up.
Keep that.
And Awry's having a phenomenal game on it as well. And like you said, making sure WarDoom has a bad game is a big part of how Eager is going to be able to find success in this series. And that is his comfort pick, Fernando. He's here to frag, and he loves that champion. But they leave the Torvald open for Astral Authority. They have the Drogos as well, so those are two important pieces to the puzzle, because Drogos is a very good character to dismantle double frontliner, and Torvald specifically, Salvo, being incredibly effective against that character.
I mean, here they can flex maybe Torvald at the end and say, okay, you might play Makoa, right? I mean, they've had Bodies play Makoa with Astral Authority, so to me this says that they're looking for a Torvald to do the Makoa-Torvald combination and have WarDoom there as well. That's what worked for them.
If they don't take the Torvald here, I think Astral take it for sure. I mean, that's the composition that they destroyed Eager with.
They go Ruckus
on Jaguar, so that's a little bit different, though. They didn't have the double frontliner before. The Fernando was just not able to stand up to the Makoa, the Drogo. They could take Torvald and Ying here, or they could go for Shaolin Ying here. And it looks like it's going to be the Shaolin Ying, just trying to dismantle Eager from a distance.
Yeah.
And Grover's even better to do that.
Yeah.
We haven't counted Grover in enough, but Kusqt has shown that he loves to run this character.
Bringing him back. Bringing him back. Hey, if you get the chance to make it to the finals of the open week, the open bracket qualifiers, and get on this stage, you can make any character, viable in this meta, basically. If you want to pick them, you can go ahead and do so. You can sign up for all these tournaments that we're having as well. There's a lot of information on our esports website if you want to get involved. Final pick will be for Eager, again relying on the Victor. They're going to have a lot of damage. Ruckus, Victor. But this time, you've been waiting for it. Stolzey on his famous Androxus. Wi-Fi will be on Fernando. ShadeeyShades on the Victor this time. Bitey on the Ruckus and Awry sticking to Maldamba, keeping things smooth.
These are very comfortable picks for both teams. Astral Authority with the Kusqt, Grover, Evulli on Shaolin, WarDoom on Makoa, Bodies back on Drogos, and doesupz on Cassie this time. 1 cauterize for Astral Authority on Evulli, 3 cauterizes for Team Eager. They've seen the output from Kusqt here, and they do not want to have any part of it. A big part of shutting Grover down comes in getting these early cauterizes online to dismantle the whirlwind healing, because all of that healing from Grover's ultimate can and will be countered by cauterize.
Kusqt, 1 axe, but not a lot of others. So this is already so good. iDropBodies takes down Bitey, and this is huge. Just a misstep gets in the line of too much damage and gives Astral Authority a clear victory here. As much as Eager had success last game, this is a completely new one, and they are just as close to defeat as they had been. And so they need to play this perfectly. So far, Bitey, big misstep there. Eager have a big hill to climb.
WarDoom taking a lot of damage, however. He's going to get killed by ShadeeyShades. Big fire spit there. It's going to be around the corner. The thrust gets the reset there and actually gets healed up. So a beautiful little coordination from Bodies and Kusqt, allowing him to get low enough to find that thrust reset, but not low enough to where he's going to die. 3 kills for 1. Astral Authority are dominating in this team fight.
They're caring about the point fight, and Bodies is having so much free reign. And WarDoom isn't caring about the point fight, and he's going to the back line. If they want to compete with this squad, they need to change their mentality to say, we need to do what they're doing. We need to match them. We can't go out and allow them to just counter us. We're feeding into their counter by standing on the point. They've got Shaolin and Drogos, for crying out loud. We are not going to,
and Grover,
and we are not going to survive with a solo Ruckus just standing there like, hey guys, please don't shoot me. They're going to shoot you. You need to be as aggressive, or you need to wait for them to get on and use your range to attack them.
And you can see just in the ultimate charges how much more effective everyone from Astral Authority is being than Eager. We're looking at 50% to 60% as opposed to fully charged ultimates already for Astral Authority. So they're just finding the mark. They're finding so much more damage. Eager now just starting to find their first win in a team fight. The reversal is big enough on the doesupz. Gonna cap that team fight off in a big way there. Stolzey taking down one of his former teammates.
Stolzey with a nice dismount from range. That's actually going to add a lot of time before he's able to get down. But iDropBodies, and the combination with Grover's cripple leaves him exposed. And man, Stolzey falls in a very unexpected way. Didn't expect to get bursted that quickly. Great shell spin as well. Coming in, trying to finish off Bitey. This is looking like a potential snowball. Long reload, will miss WarDoom. And ShadeeyShades here in the back line, trying to be as effective as Stolzey was on Victor. I don't know if he's found the same rhythm that they've had, especially without the Torvald to keep him alive.
Just looking for the flank here.
Nice grenade.
Very beautifully timed there with the fuse timer. Here comes the whirlwind. Now the cauterizers just aren't strong enough. Huge grenades into the clump. But the whirlwind healing is just huge. And iDropBodies of Evulli getting so many kills done there. Beautiful play from Kusqt. He hits him with the cheer emote just to put the cherry on top.
doesupz literally goes into that, and then the kill comes through. This is, again, you mentioned it, Nick, egos, there's pride, there's history between these teams, and Astral Authority have basically let a set slip into another point of contention here, and they're trying to finish it up, clean up their mess as soon as possible. They've 2-0 thus far. Eager have to change their game plan. But how do they go about doing that?
It's going to be tough, right? Because Serpent Beach is another map that you can find yourself snowballed on. And Astral Authority are totally in the driver's seat right now. They're leading the net worth, they're leading streaks, they're leading in terms of ultimates right now. Heat Haze and Ancient Rage, and Frankly, Eager don't have a great answer to the Ancient Rage. They don't have a nice Dragon Punch or any sort of Hexafire. They do have the Hexafire available right now, but it's going to be difficult here. They got to bait it out with something. Long-range Hexafire is just, it's not going to hit the mark.
I mean, stolzey kills doesupz, it's great, but you see Bitey goes onto the point. I don't know why he's exposing himself here, especially without the Fernando to help keep him alive. There's just so much damage going on. Kusqt in the back line keeps him down. Evulli finds a kill as well onto ShadeeyShades, and ShadeeyShades again just getting pressured out. Look at those axes. One could hit him from here, and he could go down, and into the base again. Team Eager with 62%, but have a lost point fight and a lost cause. 48% now for Astral Authority and counting.
Big plays from WarDoom as well, getting into the back line, taking out some of those threats. Bitey got left out to dry once again on the point, but not by any fault of his teammates, just great play, splitting up Eager from Astral Authority. Here's a Dread Serpent. Try and get things going for Eager. 2 for 0 right now. Big salvo damage coming out onto Bitey. He's already at about half health.
Get off the point, Bitey. Get off the point. No one's there yet. I would just say wait. Make sure that you don't have the pressure on you, because if that ends up being your strategy, it works here. But I think that he's just leaving himself too unnecessarily exposed. I think Ruckus, the range he has, the damage he has, he can use that to give his team the advantage, poke out a little bit of Astral Authority, and then move on to the point, not just leave everybody full health to kind of just wail on him. And I think, unfortunately, for Astral Authority, they can't close things out, give them too many chances to get back, and they even this thing up in terms of points captured here, 2-1 with the payload about to push.
The Whirlwind keeping everyone alive. For the time being, stolzey up onto the high ground, has the Accursed Arm, but doesn't have a lot of other cooldowns at his disposal right now. He's backed up into a corner, and Kusqt pins him to the wall with the Grover axes, hanging him out to dry. 2 for 2 right now. ShadeeyShades with both the kills for Eager.
Nice
Wi-Fi goes down, and Shadey just forced to retreat. Shaolin needs one more shot, but around the corner, ShadeeyShades gets taken out by a fire spin.
Good stuff there by stolzey as well, and Evulli. Both looking for damage and being safe about it in their attempts. WarDoom, again, aggresses on, finds Bitey on the Ruckus. He's been a champion they've had to deal with, but they've had such a good time at dealing with him as well. Disengage hits his head. Fernando, thanks to that big body, doesn't go flying out onto the drink, and he's now able to pressure off. But the damage consistently from doesupz, and then, of course, the follow-up with Evulli is enough to make sure that they lose one tank in this engagement. Doesn't see the stolzey flank, though. This could be it. Now he does. Now he's ready, and stolzey's got to get out of here and get out of here fast. He will take the high ground, but bodies with 2 kills to shut him down.
Has his Dragon Punch available as well. Kusqt's almost got the Whirlwind charged up again, and only 45 seconds remain on this payload push. So Astral Authority wisely, I think, moving out for this forward zone here. Want to keep Eager away from this one if they can. They don't want to give Eager the chance with all 5 ultimates to punch this one through. But the payload, thankfully, is far enough away to where Eager aren't going to be able to convert this with one team fight win. They're going to have to take out a couple of waves of reinforcements.
Oh, that's big.
stolzey opens things up, however, for Team Eager.
doesupz, if he stays alive here, that is huge for Astral Authority. But look at this healing now, and they're not going to be able to finish him off. Awry again gets a big-time kill and some big-time healing. This is what Eager needed. Awry still alive. They've got their healer. Ultimates will probably have to be used now to secure that this does not go through. There's just too much pressure, too much zone potential happening. Hexafire could be used. The barrage comes out. He's looking to find one. Finds Kusqt in the hallway, and he's pressuring out the Cassie as well. doesupz is in trouble. He's going to dodge roll, but he's going to get taken down. Eager tie it up 2-0 and hit the BM and Moat back at him.
He's got it. I got one of those too, doesupz. He takes, that was a big barrage there. Double kill and continual pressure onto doesupz and bodies after the big play from the barrage there. So ShadeeyShades continuing to have a great game, and now the cauterized 3s are online for Team Eager. So all tied up in the items department as they tie the game up 2-2, and these cauterized 3s are going to be very impactful, especially on characters like ShadeeyShades, like Wi-Fi, like stolzey, that are going to be able to get this consistent damage. Victor, any amount, it doesn't matter how far away this Victor is, if he's hitting 20 damage, if he's hitting 200 damage, he's going to be applying that debuff. Same thing with Wi-Fi. He can just run in and spray everyone with his Flame Lance, and will be a guaranteed 90% healing reduction which is really going to start to have an impact on what Kusqt can do with these great Whirlwind ultimates.
I love this, though. This is what I'm talking about. This is Bitey. I feel like he heard me. He's not on the point right now. He's just zoning out. They have to do a lot to get him. He still goes down. They pull them out of position, but they haven't gotten early picks here. The problem is they finally got the picks, and the picks are on the tanks. And so this is going to definitely snowball in Astral Authority's favor.
Ooh,
that was a good attempt, but they just weren't able to pull that offensive approach together, and it could be Astral Authority with one clear, succinct, and quick win. And that means they go up without any contest here on the objective. iDropBodies just zoning out. And however, he misses the Dragon Punch. He will slay stolzey, but Bitey's still alive. Double kill by Bodies. Looking for a triple. Bodies can't get it. Evulli with a double of his own. And though they use the Dragon Punch, they at least claim the objective here.
I mean, he whiffed the Dragon Punch, so he retains 30% of that charge. If he can stay alive, he will be able to get this charge up fairly quickly. You can see he's already back to 62%. On this one, so that fail-safe 30% ult charge hitting the mark here, 70% on the Dragon Punch. This is, it's not the worst thing that ever happened in terms of a missed ultimate, because now they'll have this available for the payload push, and they were able to still come out on top of that win, but hindsight is 2020.
Good job by Wi-Fi to stay alive, but they're just getting wrecked. The CC, I feel like, is really hurting, really hurting Bitey on the ruckus. He's getting impaled, or the planet is coming through. He's getting crippled by the Grover and just locked down after the Makoa pull, and it is just turning into so much damage that he has no way to get out. And I would be wondering if maybe there's an item selection here, Nick. I mean, do you think some of the CC just setting up for the clear, easy damage on the ruckus is big enough factor, or is it his positioning? What's not working?
I can't really blame Bitey. I think Astral Authority's just doing a good job at zoning out the follow-up. Oh, nice axe up onto the high ground to pick off stolzey and get things rolling here. Wi-Fi's extremely low in the backline as well. doesupz trying to get that kill converted, but a nice hook off the high ground. WarDoom to keep things going here. A lot of damage coming through for iDropBodies. 91% on that Dragon Punch. But he's going to take the spill. Bitey comes out on top of that trade.
Good spot by Bitey. Gets a kill onto Bodies. A huge damage dealer. WarDoom, great hook as well. doesupz will follow up on the stolzey. ShadeeyShades into the barrage. But will he find enough damage? It will give a little bit of room, but WarDoom still alive and helps to finish off what he hoped was a kill. But Awry and Wi-Fi finish off Evulli and Kusqt in the process. It leaves Bodies a little bit of time to try and get a kill, but he's actually going to try to turn around and get us out of there, but he ends up whiffing that one yet again, killed in the process by Wi-Fi. 27%, 27 seconds left. It's looking very unlikely that Eager are going to be able to, Astral Authority are going to be able to push this in. It could leave us going down to the wire here for this last game.
Yeah, Eager in a position they can benefit from the defense point here, and the whiff Dragon Punch is not a great way to start this fight, but picking off both of the tanks would be. Immortal does come out from Wi-Fi immediately into the backline.
That's huge.
Wants to cut off the healing. Here's the Whirlwind from Grover to keep everyone from Astral Authority healthy. However, the cauterized threes are starting to come through, so picks are falling left and right for Astral Authority. Evulli keeps the fight going here with the planet. Hexafire comes out from Bitey. Doesn't get the kill, though. The conversion comes through. And Astral Authority sneak it in.
Oh my, Astral Authority win. They take the cake over Eager here. They do it convincingly, and congratulations to them for their success in this set and taking a first place over Eager. It was definitely a tale of teammates that knew each other, and some of the best players in the world, some of the best players obviously in North America. Here are the stats. They kind of tell a story as well.
Absolutely. Even with those two whiff Dragon Punches, Astral Authority able to find the way through. A lot of damage from Evulli and doesupz, 73 and 85 respectively on those guys. WarDoom as well finding a decent amount, 55k on the Makoa. Closing in even on stolzey's Androxus within 10,000 of the Godslayer. No Torvald to keep him safe and let him fill out that hyper carry role this time around. But just two very strong overtime pushes from both those teams. Eager was able to tie things up, but again, it was looking grim right off the back of a missed Dragon Punch with 20 seconds remaining on the payload push. Astral Authority find the way to get it done.
So Astral Authority drop only one game in this tournament and feeling very confident now. The lineup is part of Match Point, now kind of meshing in. They brought Evulli into the squad, and it puts them at a clear #1 here against Team Eager, who've got stolzey and still a lot of the core from Eager previously, and are trying to mesh themselves with this new roster to be the best they can be. Xenasi, Team AGG, it's not their week this weekend, although they've had some really shining moments previously. And of course, we've all still got one more week to go to see where the final points end up. Astral Authority are in a really good spot, though. And all 4 of these teams are actually really looking like they're going to create an exciting kind of experience with the Masters coming up.
Yeah, and with the PTS being live right now, should make for a very interesting last week of qualifiers here. Head on over to forums.paladins.com to get that downloaded and get testing those legendaries. I know that's probably where these competitive players are heading immediately, because if nothing goes weird, the next week of qualifiers will be played with those legendary cards, as this patch is scheduled to go live on Wednesday.
It is going to be the Wild Wild West. I encourage you to get as big of a step ahead in the patch as possible. So go to PTS, play tonight, play tomorrow, play Monday, play Tuesday. We've extended it to get your feedback, to help us learn a little bit about the balance, what you're thinking is strong, weak, what could use some adjustments. We want to know, you all watching here, probably more aware of the full state of the game than almost anybody else in the Paladin scene. So we encourage you to go take a look and hang out and have some fun there with us on PTS. My name is Rain Day. This is Hi-Rez Pretty Hair. Thank you from everyone here at Hi-Rez Studios for taking a look at our stream. It's been fantastic hanging out with you today. And of course, we'll see you back next weekend, same time, same place for the last week, 3 p.m. Eastern time on both Saturday for EU and Sunday on North America. As always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you all next time.